Fire outbreak kills one in Kano. Abducted core member driver freed in Zamfara. Court strikes out 22.8 billion naira fraud charge against ex-chief of air staff. On the foreign scene, one killed and two assailants shot dead during attack on a Turkish courthouse. Hello and welcome to the Trust TV News Update at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with the sad development where a fire outbreak has led to the death of 4-year-old Abubakar Sani, popularly known as Musaddiq, of Yakasai Line Inuwa Maimai in Kano Municipal. The public relations officer of the State Fire Service, Saminu Yusuf Abdullahi, who confirmed the incident, said the victim was trapped inside a room but was later rescued unconscious and moved with his father to Murtala Muhammad Special Hospital for medical attention, where he was later confirmed dead by the doctor. Abdullahi confirmed that the fire was ignited inside a room when the victim was playing with matches. He said the victim was handed over to his father, Sani Hussaini, at the hospital for burial according to Islamic rites. Still in Kano, but now in politics, the chairman of Ungogo local government area of Kano State, Abdullahi Garba Ramat, has voluntarily resigned from his position. The chairman, who was elected in March 2021, served in that capacity till Monday, February 5. He has handed over to his deputy according to a post he made on his Facebook page. Ramat handed over during a brief ceremony where he flagged off empowerment for 500 women and also unveiled the council's official logo to be used in official matters. This is coming days before the expiration of his tenure as local government chairman. In a similar development, the chairman of Nasara local government area in Kano State, Awalu Lawan Shaibu, popularly known as Aramposu, has defected to the new Nigeria People's Party. The chairman, who was a member of the All Progressive Congress, announced this on his Facebook page Tuesday morning. In the post, Shaibu said he has returned to his home, a reference to the NNPP, adding that Governor Yusuf is the man of the people. The defectors' pictures with the governor were first cited on social media, posted by the senior special assistant to the governor on social media, Salisu Yahya Hotoro, wearing red caps, all smiling, before he also posted on Tuesday morning. A prospective member of the National Youth Service Corps and a bus driver who were kidnapped in Zamfara State on August 17, 2023, have regained their freedom. The victims were among the 8 fresh Akwa Ibom State graduates that were abducted on their way to the NYSC orientation camp in Sokoto State. They were traveling in an AKTC bus to Sokoto State for the mandatory National Youth Service Program for Nigerian graduates. Announcing the release in a statement on Monday, the NYSC spokesman, Eddie Megwa, said their rescue followed joint efforts with the military. This brings the total number of prospective corps members already released to 5, the NYSC spokesman said. He said efforts were ongoing to ensure that the 3 remaining captives, 1 female and 2 males, regain their freedom as soon as possible. And now hunters in Nigeria's northeast region have expressed concern with the increasing spate of banditry and kidnappings across Taraba State. Commander of the Taraba Hunters Association of Nigeria, Umar said kidnappings and killings in Taraba have become a source of concern for residents of the state. The commander, during a visit to the state chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists at the press center, Jalingo, on Tuesday, said there is the need for sustained action against criminal elements who are disturbing the peace of the state. Umar, popularly known as Babangida, commander, and an indigene of Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State, said he and his members were at the press center to synergize with journalists. He said the Hunters Association was disturbed by the surging crimes in the state and expressed readiness to help stop the menace. Responding, the chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Taraba State Council, Matthew Elliott Jen, pledged the support of journalists in the state to the association to ensure that crime is reduced in the state. Jen commended the resilience of the association and other security agencies in the state for working tirelessly to protect lives and property of the people. And on to Lagos State. Officials of the Lagos State Task Force have arrested over 51 members of a notorious gang involved in hijacking of trucks on state highways in the state. The suspects are accused of harassing as well as extortion of truck drivers along the Apapa, Oshodi and Lagos-Badagry Expressway. They are accused of coercing truck drivers to part with their money under the pretext of working for the defunct Lagos State Parks and Garages Agency. The Director, Press and Public Affairs of the State Task Force, Badeon Abdulrahim, said the gang operates in a manner that suggests that many drivers have been physically harmed. The chairman expressed disgust at the manner the suspects wreak unnecessary havoc on the highways in the name of parks and garages, despite the official pronouncement on the ban on the activities of the agency late last year. Jeje Lawyer revealed that the 51 apprehended suspects have been charged to court, where 8 out of them pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 7 months imprisonment with an option of 65,000 naira fine. The remaining 43 pleaded not guilty, adding that their hearing adjourned till the 1st of March 2024. There was a pandemonium at the popular Mile 3 DOB area of Port Harcourt on Tuesday when 4 suspected fleeing armed robbers rammed into traders who had displayed their goods for the day's business. A trader in the market, who simply identified herself as Rachel, said they were in the market when they saw a Sienna vehicle with 4 occupants brandishing guns with their heads out of the windows of the vehicle. According to Rachel, there was chaos as the armed men sped into Bishop Okoye Street while being chased by police officers. Reports say some people sustained injuries as the gunmen destroyed traders' goods in the process of escaping police. Another trader said the gunmen were intercepted and arrested at Abuja or Lu Obasanjo Road in Port Harcourt. When contacted, the spokesperson for the Rivers State Police Command, SP Grace Eringe, confirmed the incident. SP Koko said the fleeing armed robbers were apprehended by detectives attached to Olu Obasanjo Police Division, adding that one of them fled. The Federal High Court in Lagos on Tuesday struck out a 22.8 billion naira fraud charge against former Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Adesola Amosu, and 2 other Air Force chiefs. Justice Chukwejuku Aneke set the military officers free while delivering rulings on their separate preliminary objections, challenging the court's jurisdiction to try them for the alleged crime. The court held that Amosu and his co-defendants, Air Vice Marshal Jacob Bola Adigun and Air Commodore Gbadegbo Owoduni Olugbenga, could not be tried by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission because they were serving military officers at the time the alleged crime was committed. Air Marshal Amosu was appointed Chief of Air Staff on January 16, 2014, and he was removed from the post on July 13, 2015, 12 months before his arraignment in court. The defendants were first arraigned before Justice Muhammad Idris on June 29, 2016, by the EFCC and 7 companies. The EFCC accused them of conspiracy, stealing, money laundering, concealing of crime proceeds, and converting funds belonging to the Nigerian Air Force to their personal use around March 5, 2014 in Lagos. They, however, had pleaded not guilty to the charge. Still sticking with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC has arrested a cleric, Theophilus Oloche Ebonyi, for allegedly defrauding church members and others using fake grants from the Ford Foundation to the tune of 1.3 billion naira. The EFCC confirmed the arrest in a Monday statement, saying the General Overseer of Faith on the Rock Ministry International allegedly defrauded his victims by advertising an intervention project through his NGO, Theobarth Global Foundation, claiming that the Ford Foundation was offering a grant of 20 billion United States dollars to assist the less privileged in the society. He allegedly guided his victims to subscribe as beneficiaries of the phony grant by asking them to pay for registration forms and clusters. The FCC said each subscriber was made to pay 1,800,000 naira, adding that through this arrangement, Ebonyi allegedly raked in 1.3 billion naira. Investigations by the EFCC show that the Ford Foundation had no arrangement, grant, relationship, or business with Ebonyi. The foundation pointedly disclaimed him and his NGO, stressing that it had no link whatsoever with them. The commission has also traced 5 properties he acquired as proceeds of his criminal dealings. The arraignment of a Kano housewife, Hafsat Sani Suraj, and 3 others accused of complicity in the murder of one Nafiu Hafizu before a Kano State High Court was on Tuesday stalled. Hafsat was accused of killing her house help, Nafiu Hafizu, while the 3 others are accused of concealment of murder. Defense counsel Huwaila Ibrahim Mohammed applied to the court for adjournment to another date. The defendants, Hafsat Suraj, Dayabu Abdullahi, Hafsat's husband, Adamu Mohammed and Nasidi Mohammed, were initially arraigned before a Kano Chief Magistrate Court, presided by Justice Hadiza Abdurrahman. The defendants had given false information to the deceased family that Hafizu died from bowel surgery. During the first arraignment, Hafsat pleaded not guilty to charges after confessing to the police that she single-handedly stabbed Nafiu severally on parts of his body when he tried to stop her from committing suicide. Her rearrangement was slated Tuesday, February 6, at the High Court, but was stalled as the prosecution counsel substituted the first charge sheet with another one.
The provision of the law is that when a defendant is brought to court for arraignment, he needs to be given adequate time to study the charge and for his lawyer to advise him so that he may plead accordingly. This was not done today. The charge was served on the defendants this morning. Therefore, the defendants raised the issue that they need to study the charge, discuss with their clients, and advise them accordingly. And the judge ruled in their favor and set the date for arraignment to Thursday, 8th February 2024.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Still ahead. South Korean ambassador advocates economic reforms for Nigeria. Details of this story more to come after the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you most kindly for staying. But if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. Abducted. Fire outbreak kills 1 in Kano. Abducted co-member driver freed in Zamfara. And now to more stories. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted dust haze from Tuesday to Thursday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released on Monday in Abuja forecast thick dust haze to reduce horizontal visibility to 1 kilometer or less in the northern region on Tuesday. According to NIMET, moderate dust haze with a horizontal visibility range of 1 kilometer to 3 kilometers and localized visibility of less than or equal to 1 kilometer is expected over the north-central region and south during the forecast period. The agency envisaged thick to moderate dust haze on Thursday to reduce horizontal visibility to 1 kilometer or less in the north and north-central regions during the forecast period. According to NIMET, moderate dust haze with horizontal visibility range of 1 kilometer to 3 kilometer and localized visibility of less than or equal to 1 kilometer is expected in the inland region of the south throughout the forecast period. The agency anticipated early morning mist or fog patches over the coastal areas of the south, with patches of cloud in the hazy atmosphere later in the day. The Kebbi state government has shut down 2 private tertiary institutions in the state over failure to pay dues to the state coffers. The suspended institutions are Lamido Umaru Mutube College of Advanced Studies and Health Sciences, Dakingari, and Saham College of Health Sciences and Technology, Zuru. The state's Commissioner for Higher Education, Isa Abubakar Tunga, in a statement, said the 2 private institutions would remain shut until they pay up their 2-year dues to the government. The statement was signed by the Director of Higher Education, Aliyu Shehu Jega. South Korean Ambassador to Nigeria, Kim Yong-chae, has emphasized the importance of investing in agriculture to bolster the country's economy and address insecurity challenges. He made these remarks during a visit by Media Trust Group Management to the Korean Embassy in Abuja. Trustee Viz Dorcas Yakubu reports.
Ambassador Kim Yong-chae attributed Nigeria's security issues to food insecurity, underscoring the necessity for the government to prioritize the agricultural sector for economic growth. He further urged the government to create job opportunities to accommodate Nigeria's massive population.
Each year, Nigeria adds 10 million people. 10 million people each year. So every 5 years, you add 50 million people. 10 years, million is huge. And then you have to feed them. Right? Feed them. You have to educate them. You have to train them. And then you have to give them jobs. But your economy cannot do that. That's why we have all sort of security problems in Nigeria. You have to self-sufficient in food consumption. In order to achieve that, you have to help farmers to be more efficient.
Expressing gratitude for the peaceful environment during his 3-year tenure in the country, as he calls for proactive economic reforms to address unemployment and other structural challenges facing Nigeria.
You can make it. You can make it. And at the same time, please don't forget Korea, even if we are far away. And, as an ambassador, I want to see more interactions between our 2 peoples, between our 2 governments. Also, maybe we can also have some MOU signing ceremony, and then we can have an invitation program, and we can provide some materials.
Ambassador Kim Yong-chae expressed optimism about collaborating with the Media Trust Group and Nigeria as a whole in the future. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
All is set for the African Development Bank to commence the disbursement of $540 million to the first phase of states in Nigeria for the development of special agro-industrial processing zones. 3 states, namely Oyo, Kaduna, and Cross River, are to benefit from phase 1 of the development of processing zones, while others are to get theirs as soon as they are through with documentation. Senior Special Advisor on Industrialization to the AFDB President, Banji Oyelaran Oyeyinka, disclosed this on Monday when a delegation of the bank and that of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization presented their separate reports on the status of projects being executed in Nigeria to Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, called for immediate action, saying it is time for the government and its development partners to walk the talk in a bid to ensure food security in the country and beyond. Away from Nigeria, Turkish police have killed 2 people who allegedly attacked a court in Istanbul in what authorities labeled a terrorist act. The incident on Tuesday morning also saw 1 person succumb to wounds after authorities said 6 people had been injured, including 3 police officers. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan later said one of the injured died in hospital, but did not say whether the victim was a civilian or a police officer. Officials blamed the incident on the leftist armed group Revolutionary People's Liberation Party. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said on X that the shooters were killed in a gun battle after they opened fire on a checkpoint near the Kaglayan Court in Istanbul. Footage from the scene in the aftermath of the incident showed a heavy police presence at the entrance to the court, with entry and exit points closed. Justice Minister Yilmaz Tung said prosecutors had launched an investigation into the attack. Still on the international scene, Kenyan police on Tuesday said they had arrested the main suspect in a deadly gas blast that triggered a huge fireball in a densely populated area of Nairobi last week. 6 people died in the disaster and around 280 others were injured when a truck loaded with gas canisters exploded in the Embakasi neighborhood of the city late Thursday. Kenya's Directorate of Criminal Investigation said in a statement on X that its investigators have arrested the prime suspect who rented the gas depot where the blast occurred. Officials from the National Environment Management Agency have been accused of wrongly giving a license for the LPG filling and storage plant in such a densely populated area. These include the manager of the site, another 2 NEMA employees, a truck driver, and another driver, it said. According to local reports, Nairobi Governor Sakaja Johnson ordered the closure of all gas businesses operating in residential areas across the city. President William Ruto, without mentioning NEMA, said at the weekend that licenses had been wrongly issued for gas installations in residential areas because of incompetence and corruption. And in sports, Favour Ofili, the Nigerian sprinter, has set an African women's indoor record in 300 meters after she dipped 35.99 seconds at the NB Indoor Grand Prix in Boston. She becomes the 10th fastest woman ever over the distance as she finished behind Gabby Thomas of the United States, who won 35.75 seconds. Recall that she was the 2021 World Under-20 Championship bronze medalist in the 200-meter and the African indoor record holder in the event. She also holds Nigerian record also at the under-20 level over the distance with a time of 21.96 seconds, making her the first Nigerian woman in history and second African woman to break the 22-second barrier. Her compatriot, Toby Amusa, also broke her own African record in the women's 60 meters at the NB Indoor Grand Prix, running a blazing 7.75 seconds to finish second. Quick starting Tia Jones was winner in 7.72 seconds, while Davine Charlton got third in 7.76 seconds in about 1 week. Amusa has run 2 African records. With that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time.